Don't shoot him. Oops.
Serious trauma detected.
It's all good. I still got him.
An agent needs assistance.
I guess you got a second.
I can't count how many explosions I took to the face there. That shit hurts.
Enemy neutralized.
You guys are really smart shooting at my decoy like that.
I have to reload.
Nighty night. Yeah. Feeling the difference, baby. Woo!
I felt that one for sure.
There's somebody behind me. Get these things out of here.
Yep.
Oh,
He
that's
hasn't
why you
even
weren't
broken
hurting
his
bad.
armor.
That's why he didn't hurt me that bad, because you're a yellow bar. Knock her out real quick. Pop their packs. That bleed hit me. Alright, both packs are down. You are done for, my guy. You better run back. Otherwise, it's a wrap for you.
Nah, he ain't running. He's dead. This one's still.
Alright, buddy. I didn't mean to do that to you. Uh-oh. Alright.
Right there.
And down this thing.
So I made a build a while back, not too long ago, claiming that the Merciless was better than Ravenous. Then Tuxedo Bandito even made a build reaffirming it. Man, oh man, Tux, with this build, that is now very debatable. I love me some Merciless, but the Ravenous is my baby, and has been from the moment I got it from the Iron Horse raid. The reason I said that was debatable is because I believe that I've solved problems surrounding Ravenous in regards to functionality. Also techniques used to inflict the highest amount of DPS possible. And I know you feel me when I say functionality. I'm talking about that shoulder switch, amongst other things. Such a hindrance while in combat, in cover, and a cover-based shooter. The fact is that you must be out of cover the majority of the time for maximum effectiveness with Ravenous. But that's suicide, right? Wrong. There's a reason I call this build the Terminator. Now I know what you're thinking. The Ravenous is locked behind the Iron Horse raid, and I can't get it. Well, how bad do you want it? Because it's definitely attainable. I want to help you out, and there are timestamps in the description if you want to skip straight to the build. But here's the thing. There are multiple ways to link up with players who raid all the time. The number one source is the official Division 2 Discord server, where tons of people link up in LFG. Then for more personal experience, there's my Discord where we do the same. Check out the raid channels. They're always lit up, indicating that players are networking. And I'll be honest, I believe that the most active platform is first PlayStation, second PC, and then Xbox. But everyone's active, so just go in there and give it a shot. The link will be in the description, and you know how we do on this channel. So if you enjoy builds from DPS all the way to skill, then don't hesitate to like the video and subscribe to my channel if you're new. Now here's the build. Alright y'all, I've made plenty of builds with protection from elites, and they're great. They're all great. They really allow for you to survive in high level content in the worst situations. But that's just it. I don't want to only survive, I want to thrive and excel in damage as well. I want to become the ultimate weapon that cannot be stopped. So in this build, I'll show you the tools you need to do just that. As I said, there are certain techniques that you need to adopt when building in order to make it complement the Ravenous's damage. It's the primary I'm using, and if you look closely, you'll see that its exotic talent scales with weapon damage. I'm sure you all knew that. So once you stack as much of that as possible, there's nothing that can survive that explosion or the weapon in general, because you don't even need to switch shoulders. It's not a necessity. I'll get into the secondary in a minute because I gotta tell you how it connects with the build. The Hollow Man, which is essential because of 2 reasons. 1, the multiplicative health damage, great for chungas, mini tanks. The hardest hitting NPCs have health only, no armor. And secondly, the 2-piece Yaw grants 5% weapon damage, so is why my backpack is Yaw with Vigilance. With this talent, keep in mind that bonus armor from Ravenous protects you from taking damage, henceforth maintaining the damage bonus you get from Vigilance. So it never goes away if you play it right. All of the rolls on this build have crit hit damage and crit hit chance. Crit hit chance preferably where you can't put both. Next, you want another weapon damage value, which you can get from the Walker Harrison Company. These are the only brands in the game that have those weapon damage values. Once you have them, your base damage is set and you'll immediately see a significant change in that category, regardless of crit. Now let's go back to the secondary real quick so I could tell you how that's relevant too. The Kingbreaker with perfect flatline. I was about to run my trusty Carbine 7, but I figured I needed that extra damage since I don't have a Fenris piece for the 10% AR damage. And health damage is such an important attribute in PvE specifically, so an assault rifle is the best in-slot choice. With its native 21% health damage, it adds to the 10% from Yaw. Now, I don't know if the 21% health damage is multiplicative, but I do know that it being an automatic weapon shreds as a secondary to the semi-automatic Ravenous. So I'm using Spotter on my Walker Harris chest piece, and this is the only talent I felt that was best for the Ravenous and especially the Kingbreaker. Comment below if you think there's a better one, but let me explain how this works. I'm sorry to interrupt, but YouTube notifications are terrible, so I had to take matters into my own hands and let you know what I got going on. I came here from my second channel, Identity Games, and would love it if you could support me there as well. A total different vibe you'll get, and the best thing is that you don't even have to leave this video. Just click this link and subscribe, but make sure that afterwards you come see me over there. Identity Games is a game dev channel where I'm developing my own project, an open world RPG looter shooter. Check it out and let me know what you think of it. And I'm not using any pulse skill, so you're probably wondering how I'm able to benefit from Spotter with Ravenous, right? Well, one skill I'm using is the decoy, which kills 2 birds with 1 stone. Distracts the enemy for 1. And did you know that any enemy that shoots your decoy while it's out gets pulsed themselves? And that's how I'm doing it with the Ravenous. And you already know how it is with the Kingbreaker. I'm using Technician Specialization with the Laser Link. And did you know that the Technician Specialization deals extra damage to robotics and skill proxies? So it's one of the best strategies to use in high level content, especially legendary. I want to explain the damage aspect of this build first, then go to survivability. Because if you're solo, damage means nothing without survivability. I mean, even if you're with full teams sometimes, you know, being a squishball is not fun. So the icing on the cake for the damage are the Fox's prayer knee pads. The 8% targets out of cover damage, which complements the damage targets out of cover on Ravenous, which very few, I don't think any exotics in the game besides this weapon have damage to targets out of cover for its exotic attribute. I mean, maybe I'm missing something, you could let me know. Plus it's a rifle, so the Fox's prayer knee pads just fit. Now onto the survivability. And I know you see that I have 2 improvised pieces. This is how I'm able to sustain through damage while staying out of cover. Like I said, just look at how I can literally stand in front of these insanely hard hitting enemies while dealing all that damage I was explaining before. And I'm not done yet, because the Ravenous's talent, while switching shoulders, deals 500% weapon damage with the explosion and grants bonus armor on the other side. This, I believe, is the deadliest to chungas, mini tanks, and dogs, because the talent states that it deals 50% amplified damage to armor plates. This is specifically referring to those armor plates that you see falling off the enemy when destroying it. So listen closely, because you're probably not hearing me when I'm telling you this. Those armor plates, each of them, have a health value, and the health damage you deal to it directly affects it, combined with the 50% amplified damage on top of that to the armor plates directly. That's why they get destroyed so quickly. In my opinion, there's nothing that beats this in terms of DPS. This is damage as well, but it also combines with the survivability. That's why you need the improvised pieces to add as much protection from elites as possible with the mods. Improvised gear are the only pieces that allow you to put mods where you wouldn't be able to otherwise, like I have with the gloves and holster. If you want even more survivability, then you'll have to switch to Survivalist, which will give you another 10% from the skill tree. That's another option. I think Technician is a little more effective for legendary, but That's just my preference. You gotta be careful though. Even with all this protection from elites, the red and purple bar enemies can still hurt you the same way they normally do. So this is where your skills on the battlefield come into play. Strategize who you should kill and when. This way, you have a game plan when going into whatever situation. Plus, you'll be melting everything in sight anyways. The second skill, I decided to go with the EMP sticky bomb. I think it's better than a jammer in some situations because you can stun lock robotic dogs and mini tanks by shooting the sticky on them but not detonating it until it's about to expire. This way they're down for a much longer duration than if you just jam them. Plus, I like how it offsets enemies by staggering them. A great low cooldown skill for DPS builds like this. I am so hype about this build. It is the complete package for a legendary PvE build, and for heroic, you can forget about even thinking of dying. If you're as hype as I am, then comment #judgment below, letting me know you made it here. And don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. That'll do it for me, fam. I'll catch you in the next one. Be right out.